There are certain things in life that, without a doubt, we can never expect to be smooth. Sandpaper, granite, asphalt, a nail file, you get the idea. Rough paths also greet us at times in business and even governance. The good news for us here in Jamaica is that knowledge, political support and implementation are telling a good story about our country. And the course of many of the people's business and matters of national interest are going quite smoothly. I'm taking you down that road today, right where you are. Witness how things can be done with ease and seamlessness. Welcome to your daily read of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Let's dive deeper into today's story.
We need trees if we are to be able to live on this planet. So I want to encourage you to join and partner with the My Tree Legacy Promotion and support your alma mater. For me, St. Peter and Paul, Campion College, University of West Indies, roll out and plant some trees.
Register your alma mater for the Forestry Department's My Tree Legacy Promotion and be a part of the preservation of Jamaica, land we love. Let us highlight your contribution. Submit videos or pictures of you leaving your mark. Every tree counts. Plant a tree today and keep climate change away.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, March 30, 2022. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, has secured a commitment from the British government for funding to replace its intelligence management system. A Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, was signed yesterday between the JCA and the UK Border Force International for the undertaking and continued partnership in other areas. It represents a grant of approximately 22 million Jamaican dollars, which will be used to increase the agency's database capacity. Commissioner of Customs Velma Ricketts-Walker says collaboration such as this is an effective tool in the fight against organized crime which transcends borders.
Is that it allows us to pull on the treasure trove of data we have stored in our customs database system, commonly referred to as ASICUDA, combined with other data sources and to provide a more complete picture as it relates to suspected bad actors, their associates, and their associations.
The agency also received items that will allow its officers to detect chemical and radioactive material.
The Agilent through barrier system will allow officers to test items within situ, but minimizing contact, whilst the personal radiation devices will alert officers to potential high levels of radiation.
More than 50 entities in the tourism sector and 95 suppliers will participate in this year's Speed Networking event on Thursday. The Tourism Linkages Network Speed Networking event will take place at the Montego Bay Convention Center beginning at 9 a.m. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett is expected to deliver the main address at the opening ceremony. Director of the Tourism Linkages Network, Carolyn MacDonald Riley, tells JIS News that over the years, the initiative has benefited several small and medium-sized tourism enterprises, providing exposure for their businesses and opportunities for contracts.
It is a business-to-business opportunity where local suppliers meet with our tourism players with a view to supplying them with our tourism products. And we're going to have a display at the convention center and showcasing also some of our local manufactured products. And this display will be done by the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association.
New elements of this year's staging is the provision of information by a number of key stakeholders. These include information on the Tourism Workers Pension Plan, tourism incentive, training for sector workers, and offerings by the DBJ and Exim Bank. The event is hosted annually by the Tourism Linkages Network in collaboration with the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, and the Jamaica Promotions Corporation, JAMPRO. Also partnering are the Rural Agricultural Development Authority and the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. With agriculture being a major contributor to the country's economic growth, more young persons are being encouraged to get involved. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. reiterated the call to students while speaking at a prize-giving ceremony at Hopewell High School recently. He stressed to them that farming provides lucrative career opportunities, and the 4-H clubs is one of the ways more students can be exposed to the business of agriculture.
Farming in Jamaica presents one of the most awesome opportunities to give back while becoming a millionaire or even a billionaire. Because guess what? Which household don't need food? Your household don't need food? Every one of us have to eat. It's a basic necessity. You live in Hanover, so you understand that even when it comes down to tourism, you have an expanding tourism product. When tourists come here, what do they want? Jamaican food.
According to Minister Charles Jr., the future of agriculture rests in the hands of our youth, who can get into areas such as agrotechnology, research, and livestock farming, to name a few. Government will be providing more support to the mangrove restoration project in South Clarendon. While touring the mangrove last week, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Matthew Samuda, said the project was in line with the government's plan to develop the area.
It's a very important project. It's important to the stability of the area, ecological stability of the area. It's important to the protection of the areas when you have weather events like hurricanes that we've had in the past. It stops flooding, it stops the sea from coming in. It's critical to the stability of this area. We know that the area is in need of development, but we can't develop without the protection of the area. So we're here to assess the stage and state of readiness for the project and to look at where the government can assist with supporting infrastructure and supporting funding if possible.
Studies to revive the mangrove forests are being led by the University of the West Indies Solutions for Developing Countries, UWI-SODECO. Data from the university shows that half of the 35,000 hectares of mangroves between Milk River and Salt River have died. Completion of the current baseline studies is projected for October this year, and the information will be used to restore the mangroves. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development will undertake work to address water and garbage collection in sections of Manchester. An assessment to determine the needs was done during a recent tour by Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie and his team. He says the water situation in Davidton will be worked on soon, and garbage receptacles will be provided and placed along a section of the Belfield Hill roadway to address dumping. Attention is also being placed on the market to improve conditions for vendors and shoppers.
The market needs extensive. I have asked the mayor and the technical team of the ministry to undertake a comprehensive assessment of the market and to come up with an estimate that we can look at, that we can start to address the issues.
Member of Parliament for the area, Rhoda Moy Crawford, says she's particularly happy for the minister's commitment to address the water problem.
Water is a major challenge here. So the minister was here with his team from the rural water, and they are going to be setting up a catchment system and to install several big water tanks so the residents can go there to get water.
And finally, over 30 vendors from the Port Maria Arcade in St. Mary, who were badly impacted by the recent flood rains, will now be able to replenish their supplies. The vendors were given financial support in the form of checks with an overall value of $1.3 million by the Labour Ministry yesterday. Portfolio Minister Carl Samuda says the staff at the ministry worked quickly to reduce the wait time between the request for help and when it was delivered.
In this particular case, I must tell you, I saw the empathy, I felt the empathy, because when the reports came in for the conditions that those who came here saw, we knew that we had to move and move quickly. It's no use telling people that you have resources to help them, and when the time comes to give it to them, it takes forever.
The minister says the total cost of the initiative will be more than $25 million. Communities in St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne were affected by severe rainfall from January 31 to February 1. The handover of more checks will continue. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Without a doubt, tourism is Jamaica's #1 industry, and our dedicated workers are its greatest asset. Jamaica would not be the heartbeat of the world without you. As the industry rebounds from the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, we truly need all hands on deck, yours included. Vaccination holds the hope for tourism's full recovery. In addition to COVID-19 protocols, it is the only comprehensive way to fight the pandemic and save lives. I am therefore urging every worker in the tourism and hospitality industry, in all the subsectors, including accommodation, attractions, entertainment, transportation and craft, to do your part and get vaccinated. Do it for yourself, your family, your workplace, and your community. Do it for Jamaica, land we love. Stay safe. Get vaccinated.
Earlier we were talking about things that were not so smooth. But when it comes to trade in Jamaica, the process keeps getting easier and, of course, smoother. The upcoming feature will show you how the Jamaica Electronic Single Window for Trade can simplify the process of doing your business.
Picture this. You're a busy entrepreneur working hard to grow your business. At the wharf to be cleared are the materials needed to make your products. You are required to visit several government offices and fill out multiple forms with similar information to complete this activity, spending time on the trading process that could otherwise be invested in your business. For you, this may just be a mental exercise, but for many entrepreneurs in Jamaica, it is the reality of trade. A reality that will change with the introduction of the Jamaica Electronic Single Window for Trade. An electronic single window ESW is an IT platform that facilitates the efficient clearance of cargo.
An electronic single window is expected to bring simplification, harmonization, and facilitation on international trade transactions under a robust electronic environment. This will bring facilities for customs brokers, government officials to interact with a computerized systems that will have a set of business rules that will allow the traders to fulfill all regulatory requirements, submit all the required data, and be able to complete their transactions in a single and seamless system.
With that electronic single window for trade, clearly it's an electronic form, and that will be filled out one time at your convenience, online, and then behind the scene, the BRAs, the Border Related Agency, will collaborate to ensure that your application is accepted.
The agencies connected to the system will be able to grant the necessary permits, licenses, and approval for the release of merchandise. When approval is given, the trader receives a notification and can then proceed to collect or send off goods. The introduction of an ESW will reduce the cost and time it takes to import and export goods, creating a more enabling environment for local entrepreneurs and foreign investors.
Where we can develop and implement a system where all the transactions can take place through a particular port or point or window in this instance, it makes doing business easier. By extension, therefore, it is expected that the interest in conducting business will be improved, will be increased, and investors will see Jamaica as an even more attractive investor destination. On the other side, it also will aid in the collection of revenue, where we can have a greater throughput of trade and of activity, which by extension generates even much more in terms of the economy.
Implementation of the ESW began in August 2018, and the timeline for completion is 36 months. Over 20 border and regulatory government agencies will connect to the platform. The entity responsible for collecting revenue from trade, the Jamaica Customs Agency, is the lead implementing agency.
The electronic single window system will be fully integrated, of course, with the Ascuda World system. They're both built on the Ascuda World platform. That information will be passed seamlessly from the electronic single window into the customs management system. And that, of course, reduces time and complexity, having a single point of contact and simplification of information. So that transparent environment, having that electronic track and trace, and of course, ensuring that persons are carrying out their functions within the agreed time frame.
The ESW is projected to reduce the number of entities a trader comes in contact with from as much as 5 to 1. In the future, this is how a trader could be making arrangements for the clearance of goods. The Jamaica Electronic Single Window, facilitating efficiency in trade, contributing to a robust business environment, a part of the framework for making it easier to do business with Jamaica.
What a way you're full of our roots and culture. That was in Jamaica 60. Jamaica 60? What a piece of news, Miss Matty. I feel like my heart going bust up.
Just in, the island of Jamaica is on the verge of celebrating its 60th year of independence.
We have to celebrate it now. They say the people them come here, you know. But you see, when our people decide, say the other people them free paper, them say if it's war, start it, whatever. We all collect medal panta for it, you know.
The celebrations are slated to begin on January 1st, 2022. Organized by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. We have more in this report.
On site and planning activities are ablaze. Persons are advised to download the Reggae Jamaica app to know what it activities for the Jamaica 60 celebration.
I download the app to get the updates then.
Next, the Integrity Commission reminds us of the simple process that eligible public sector workers should follow when filing their statutory declarations.
If between January 1 and December 31, you are a parliamentarian or public official in receipt of total emoluments of $3.5 million or above, or you were appointed or performed the functions of a position listed in the Jamaica Gazette, November 26, 2021, regarding the Integrity Commission Act, you are required to file a statutory declaration of assets, liabilities, and income as at December 31. What to file? You are required to declare all balances and interest in all assets, liabilities, and income received by you, your spouse, and children below the age of 18, whether living in Jamaica or abroad. Why file zero tolerance? It should be noted that a person who knowingly makes a false statement in a statutory declaration may be liable to a fine not exceeding $2 million or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years. The Integrity Commission has implemented its zero tolerance policy. All declarants will be required to submit all outstanding statutory declarations. If you are eligible to submit for the past 5 calendar years and have not filed, submit your statutory declarations now. Failure to submit a statutory declaration may attract a fine of not exceeding $500,000 or to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 6 months. The Integrity Commission has decentralized the collection of statutory declarations. Submit your statutory declaration for the previous calendar year securely within your organization on or before March 31 of the following year. Here's how. Firstly, complete your statutory declaration. Ensure you have entered the correct as at date, for example, December 31, 2021. NA or see attached is never an appropriate response. Use none and list all required balances. Copy or print additional pages where necessary. Ensure all the sections are signed. A justice of the peace is required to validate your signature by signing, entering the date, location, and affixing their embossed seal. Attach the relevant supporting documents. ATM printouts are not accepted. You then proceed to your in-house collection point. Collect a statutory declaration envelope and security seal. Place the required information on the statutory declaration envelope, seal the envelope, and affix the security seal. Deposit the secure envelope in the Integrity Commission branded collection container or with your designated officer on or before March 31. Finally, enter your name and the date of submission on the Integrity Commission log sheet. The designated officer should deposit the white copy of the log sheet in the collection container on April 1. Retain the yellow copy for the files and facilitate the submission of collection container to the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission will register your statutory declaration and send you a receipt by email on or before May 13. After submission, the statutory declaration is examined for due completion and accuracy. Where the Integrity Commission is satisfied that the statutory declaration has been duly completed, certification is done and an advisory issued to the declarant. Submit your statutory declaration completely and accurately and get on the path to certification. For more information, visit our office on the second floor at 45 to 47 Barbados Avenue, Kingston, or give us a call at 876-968-6227.
Here's another thing to consider. Make our workplace relationships much smoother and productive. Applying the practices of mediation and conflict resolution helps. Learn more from the experts next.
Is unhealthy for productivity in the workplace. You guys can't continue like this. And she come in the morning
I'm trying to show her and she just act like idiot.
Alright, so here what? I have a video from the Dispute Resolution Foundation that I think you guys need to watch. Come with me.
A conflict is at its most fundamental, a disagreement. Workplace conflict has a number of significant impacts. There's a cost to conflict at the workplace. So someone seeing a dispute between two employees or between employees and the employer being played out in public might be inconvenienced by what is happening, but they're unaware of what's the cost. There are all kinds of costs, from personal costs, health costs, reputational costs, to financial costs. So conflict can impact somebody at the workplace. It can impact the production and productivity of the business. If you think of it, any workplace could find that between a supervisor or just between two employees, there could be an unresolved conflict and it affects how they work. So if we have to work in a way that says your work is affecting mine and vice versa, and we're not getting along, then over time what will happen is that we tend not to be very productive because we're not communicating with each other, we're not responding, we're not engaged. So it affects the organization's relationship internally, it affects the dynamics of that, it affects productivity, it affects communication, it affects a number of things. So simple things like management decisions may be impacted by conflict at the workplace.
Mediation is very, very important in order to solve conflicts like these and to ensure that we have productivity.
Conflict resolution is a very broad term used to describe different approaches to try and manage conflict when conflict occurs. So mediation is just one of those processes, a very structured process in which a neutral third party who is trained helps disputing parties to come to a resolution of their dispute. Now, at the workplace, that will be helping them to negotiate. So they may be unable to negotiate by themselves, so they may get somebody who is external to each of them to help them to resolve that dispute, and that person will play the role of a mediator.
So guys, this is where I come in, to sit with you both and to discuss the issue further. But before we get to the meat of the matter, there is just one more point to note.
Now, in order to do that, the mediator has to have some very effective communication skills. So how does the mediator communicate? And communicate in a way that includes both verbal and non-verbal, but at the same time interpreting what is it that the verbal and non-verbal cues that are coming from the parties. What are those cues saying? So the mediator has to be very effective at communication. Now, helping the parties to communicate may be a part of the communication, the larger communication skills of the mediator. However, at a particular point in time, mediator has to help the parties to negotiate. So the mediator has to be au fait with what negotiation is about, how are the parties negotiating, and help them to be able to negotiate in a way that settles the dispute that they have.
Alright, so as you guys can see, conflict, it's nothing new. Today was probably the first for you guys, and it maybe won't be the last. But based on the video that you've just seen, you can now tell the true effect of what conflict can do within the organization. So you see, it's very important for you to practice mediation and proper conflict resolutions. Now, having seen or heard all of that, what really happened today?
We've been having a very textured conversation since the start of today's show, looking at what's going smooth in our nation with a bit of comparative resemblance to objects not created to be polished and slick. But here it is. What if we explore things we can do to make life run a little bit smoother? Like planning ahead. For example, if you lay out your morning agenda the night before, it can help your days to go much smoother. Even taking as little as 15 minutes to organize your thoughts for the next day can sometimes help you decrease stress and start your day off just right. The next thing we can do is to prioritize our time. Determining what's most important and which tasks will add the most value can help you significantly. This rule should be applied both on the job and in your personal life. The third item, write it all down. Making lists is one of the easiest ways to keep on top of things. Whether you have a day planner or a simple pen and paper, a to-do list can be one of the best ways to help avoid procrastination. These are just a few ideas, but if you have thoughts on this, start a conversation with us on any of our social media platforms. Our aim is to create better spaces and lives for all Jamaicans, so we can indeed have a country that's the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
We hope we did our part in keeping you informed, but as today's show comes to a close, you have the opportunity to view more of our content on our YouTube channel. You may also visit our website and our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for more information. From all of us here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.